Okay. Still on video 2 for January 24th, Thursday, January 24th, 2019. Video 2, still reading mindfulness skills. Still not a therapist. You're still watching at your own risk. Mental health is not something to take lightly, but it is at the same time. So we're in mindfulness, handout 48. I do have permission to read this stuff out loud, online, give my experiences with being a mental health services long-term consumer. Suppose I shouldn't do that. We'll pour coffee while I crunch that out. All right. Good thing I'm talking to myself. Kind of. Ideas for practicing describing. So taking hold of your mind by describing what we see outside of ourselves. Lie on the ground and watch the clouds in the sky. Find and describe cloud patterns that you see. Sit on a bench on a busy street or at a park. Describe one thing about each person who walks by you. Find things in nature, a leaf, a drop of water, a pet, or other animal. Describe each thing in as much detail as you can. Describe as accurately as you can what a person has just said to you. Check to see if you are correct. Describe a person's face when the person seems angry, afraid, or sad. Notice and describe the shape, movement, and placement of the forehead, eyebrows, and eyes, the lips, and the mouth, the cheeks, and so on. I don't know why you would only do it when they're angry, afraid, or sad. Maybe you would do it more like also when they're joyful. I don't know. Sometimes the focus in here kind of weirds me out. Or what appears to be the focus, or what could appear to be the focus, however much you want to distance yourself from that idea. Describe what a person has done or is doing now. Be very specific. Avoid describing intentions or outcomes of the behavior that you do not directly observe. Avoid judgmental language. Like describing this paperclip would be like, oh, it's small, it's light, it's made out of metal, I can change its shape, I can poke you or scratch you on both ends. And just a lot of stuff, it's smooth. There's no rust on this one. It's pretty brand new. I bent it back almost exactly the same. You know, all these descriptions. Then it can get more interesting. Practice describing thoughts and feelings. I suck at describing. Describe your feelings as they arise within you. A feeling of anger is rising within me. That was a judgmental thought on myself too. Describe your thoughts when you feel a strong emotion. I feel X, and my thoughts are Y. X, Y, not the question why. Describe your feelings after someone else does or says something. When you do X, I feel Y. Describe thoughts, feelings, and what you observed others do. When you do X, I feel Y, and my thoughts are Z. When X occurs, I feel Y, and my thoughts are Z. Describe as many of your thoughts as you can while feeling a strong emotion. So describe your thoughts or feelings or what you observe. When you feel X, I feel Y. When you do X, I feel Y, and my thoughts are Z. I'm going to just use an example. Like if you're talking to your husband and he comes home, and I'm just going to use a homemaker example, too bad. You're talking to your husband and he comes home, it's like late, and you made dinner, and you thought he's going to be there. Maybe it's even like kind of an expensive dinner, like a roast of meat or something, and or some really fancy vegetables if you're vegetarian. And you make it, and your partner, if you want to do like whatever gender, and then you're expecting your person home for dinner at like say 6:30, and then 9:30 rolls around, they still haven't showed up. Then you could be like, when they do show up, when you say that you're going to be here at 6:30 for dinner, and I have dinner made at 6:30, especially when it's something expensive, and then you don't even show up until 9:30, then I feel like you don't even care whether I had dinner made or not. Okay. When you show up like that, then I feel angry, and my thoughts are that you don't even care at all. So that's when you do X, I feel Y, and my thoughts are Z. When you don't show up in a timely manner, when I make dinner and it gets ruined, I feel upset and angry, and my thoughts are that you don't even care whether I make dinner or not. So that's how you would do the XYZ. Describe as many of your thoughts as you can while feeling a strong emotion. That sounds pretty horrifying, truthfully. So that would mean I really probably ought to practice that. Like, make a note to myself, give yourself some strong emotions and then practice describing that. Why? Why not? I'm still here. Might as well keep on working on improving myself as best as I can. I got nothing else I can really do. Practice describing your breathing. Each time you inhale and exhale, as you inhale, be aware that I am inhaling. When you exhale, be aware that I am exhaling. Remember to breathe from the stomach. When beginning the second inhalation, be aware that I am inhaling, and slowly exhaling, be aware that I am exhaling. Continue on up through 10, and when you have reached 10, return to 1. Whenever you lose count, return to 1. Begin to exhale gently and normally from the stomach, describing in your mind that I am inhaling. Begin to inhale normally and gently from the stomach, describing in your mind that I am inhaling normally. Exhale in awareness. I am exhaling normally. Continue for 3 breaths. On the 4th breath, extend the inhalation, describing in your mind that I am breathing in a long inhalation. Exhale in awareness. I am breathing out a long exhalation. Continue for 3 breaths. Follow the entrance and exit of air. Say to yourself, I am inhaling, and following the inhalation from its beginning to its end. I am exhaling, and following the exhalation from its beginning to its end. I'm just going to say that these kind of things sound pretty stupid as you're doing them, but that's the same way as if you're going to do like protein powder. I mean, you'll feel pretty good the very first time. I think you'll feel good the first time you do protein powder or whatever, but it's a really subtle thing. It's not going to be like, you know, going from an empty bank account to having $10,000 in your bank account. Like, big, huge difference just like that. But it does the same thing. Or doing sit-ups. You're not going to like all of a sudden have 6-pack abs from doing sit-ups one time. But if you do them consistently, day after day after day, 10 minutes of ab work, I think it is, obviously, you'll end up with a noticeable difference. And same with mental exercise. When you exercise and exercise, same with drawing. I noticed, I don't know how many fine arts people I accidentally offended when I had a little breakdown and said, oh, I'm just going to not do my science and math classes. I'm going to take it easy and do art classes. The fact is that in English classes and science classes and even in math, there's a certain degree of BS that you can employ to bump your grade up. But in art, I mean, you might have a teacher that really appreciates your style or something, but if they tell you to do something, it's like going to PE, you know? I mean, you're just not going to BS when you go to jump over that bar. You're either going to make it over the bar or you're going to whack yourself. Art is the same way. If they're like, draw that line, make that mat straight for your drawing. Yeah, so it's just like you just practice, and that's another really obvious way where it's a really fine thing to practice, but you practice and practice to get better. So same deal with this. I got kind of sidetracked. So I guess we're at 12 minutes. I'm gonna leave this and then go on. No, I'm just gonna do ideas for practicing participating, and then I'm gonna go on to the next paperclip. Ideas for practicing participating. Take hold of your mind by participating. Participate with awareness of connection to the universe. Focus your attention on where your body touches on an object, the floor, air. Whoops. Okay, we'll do participating in the next video, because otherwise what I'm going to do, I'm going to stress myself out, give myself anxiety, and not do it.